I mean, he writes like it's unlike anybody, and it's the thing is, bad dialogue is really difficult to get your head around. It's hard to learn because you're reacting against it in your head somewhere. With his stuff, it goes in like silk. It's the only thing we tend. It's usually, I mean, he writes with you in mind, or he did in my case anyway. But even if he hadn't, even if it was somebody else's role that you stepped into, it would still be. It flows easily. And the stuff that we tend to ask Quentin is, okay, give me that line reading again. Okay, got it. That you never want as an actor from any other director. I've never asked a director to give me a line reading. In fact, if they start to give you a line reading, you shut them right down, because even if they're right, that's the last thing you want to do. But with him, it's specific music in his head that goes through the pen and onto the paper, and he gives it to you. And normally you get it, but sometimes it's you go, I can't quite get it. Give me again and again. Oh, okay, got it. And that's a very odd circumstance. That doesn't exist apart from in Quentin world. I mean, it's like perfect casting for this character. Although Kurt's so much sweeter than John Ruth is. We could talk about John Ruth, I suppose, who's a bounty hunter in this, but who's just rude and mean to everybody all the time, but develops this uncanny and this odd and unusual relationship with the woman that he's bringing in to get hanged in Red Rock. They actually end up having a very odd back and forth. To me, they look like the guys out of The Honeymooners. You know, the Jackie Gleason character and his wife. Very much like that. We've all been flung into different worlds as far as what we've done with our acting, or or haven't done, and then, but to come back around and do this, I was talking to Sam, as his last night, and I mean, he said it's the best thing I've been involved in. He said this is it. He said for him, he was talking about it, saying whatever the audience thinks of it, let them think what they think of it. He said, but we know, and it's very, it's quite an emotional feeling to be part of this kind of wonderful little traveling players kind of event, Sam, I first worked with Sam on, we did a very low budget film up in New York called Jumping in the Boneyard, and I was number one on the call sheet, and he had a couple of scenes to do. Came in, and we laughed a lot. And then there was a possibility, I believe, that I know he auditioned for Reservoir Dogs. That didn't happen. And then Quentin wrote him this just piece of genius that elevated him, put him through the roof. I mean, it was extraordinary what happened with Sam. And he's still except he's got more bells and whistles on him right now. But he's still very much the same guy that I worked with on Pulp Fiction and before. He's the same guy, except now he has a sense of authority about him, which took a long time to get, but he certainly got it, and got it by way of Quentin. They have such a trusting relationship, I think. When you see this on a big screen as it's supposed to be seen, you're going to get neck ache. I mean, you're going to be going, what? Like, you'll be really looking at, it's proper cinema time now. This is and I don't know, I asked Quentin if he'll go back. He said, well, it's hard to go back now, so you're in for it. But it's and the lenses, we all get very excited about the lens, right? Because we're wanky actors. So we go, Bob, what you got up there? He goes, oh, Ben-Hur. Great, thank you very much. And we're all very excited, and still are, about what those big lenses mean. It's a real deal. It's just psychologically, I think, for the actors, it's like, oh, we're in a movie. We're not in a hard drive. We're in a movie, And who else to do that but Quentin, really? I mean, it's kind of what you want. Yeah.